the episodes because it's the final season of Game of Thrones, man. Ever since my friend and I were like, there's a new show with Sean Bean and dragons, I'm in it to win it. I'm in till the end. And now the end is upon us, and now I'm going to talk about Game of Thrones Season 8 episodes as they air weekly. Cause I can. And this is brought to you by Stardust, the Stardust app. Viewers on my channel, you might recognize the name Stardust. I've worked with them before. Stardust is a social media app that lets you talk about or review for 30 seconds at a time TV shows, movies, movie trailers, because we all have opinions. We're all critics. So download the Stardust app, follow me at Jeremy Johns, react to Game of Thrones. At the end of this episode, I'll let you know more of the cool things Stardust and I have going for us all. In the meantime, let's talk about Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 1, because it's back. Funny thing about something like this, it's just been, what, a year and a half since we've seen Game of Thrones? So in this episode, I'm like, God, where did we leave off again? Usually I do a recap, but life's just been more busy now. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's where they were here and that's where they were going. It's like a chess game. Imagine leaving a chess game off unfinished for a year and a half. You come back, you're like, all right, what were the last few moves leading to this point? So the first episode is getting you reacquainted with the world and the situations and the people within and where their situations are. Oh yeah, and forgot to mention there will be some spoilers in this video for this episode. If you haven't seen the season premiere of episode 8 of Game of Thrones, it's just saying there'll be some spoilers in here. Not a lot happened really, but enough to where if I talk about it and you haven't seen it, you'd be like, I haven't seen it. I'm pissed now. Really, Jon Snow gets reacquainted with his family, and that's cool. Like, Arya's there, and they all hug and embrace. I guess, I'm still gonna call him Jon Snow. We know it's not really his name, but it's his name to us. And it looks like people are pissed at Jon Snow because they were like, you're king of the north. He's like, great. I'll be back with some dragons. I'm gonna leave you for a bit. I'm not king anymore. Here, give it to my sister. Peace. And they were all pretty much like, you know nothing, Jon Snow. He's like, story of my life. They're all mad at him because he's fighting for the kingdom, not the titles. And that's a lot of Game of Thrones. You want to keep your title or do you want to fight for the greater good? That's that's allegory of life. I like that Game of Thrones touches on that. I also like the fact that this wasn't just like in the action. This is the last season. You know, battles are coming. But really, the battles are cool and all, but I haven't watched Game of Thrones for now starting on 8 years because dragons were burning walls to the ground. It's like I didn't watch it for the intense battles, but I watched it for this long because I like the scheming, the allegiances, the backstabbing, the Game of Thrones. So I'm glad this episode shows that. It's like, no, we're still keeping in line with that. There are only a couple of big takeaways in this episode, one of which is Jon Snow, he learned the truth of things. He learned that he is the love child of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark, thus he is the rightful heir to the throne. Gendry's like, what am I, chop liver? Fuck you too. But Sam Tarly told him that, and you kind of get the feeling Sam Tarly told him that because it's like, well, I now hate her. I'm not a fan of Daenerys because she burned my dick dad to the ground. It's like, your dad was a shithead. But that's how family is. Sometimes you can have family members who are shitheads. They can be complete shit to you, but you still lament their death. You're still sad when they die. I totally get that. It's not so black and white like, nope, family member was a dick. Don't care about them. That's not realistic, so I mean, he cares. So he was like, hey, Jon Snow, she did this to my dad. Yeah, the girl you're banging did this to my dad. By the way, Rhaegar Targaryen is your dad, so there. And he's like, I don't want to be king, I never did. I love the fact that here's what just happened. Sam Tarly was like, hey, Jon Snow, you've been fucking your aunt. Jon Snow was like, I don't want to be king. That was what was going through his mind. Not like, oh my God, that's, oh wow. Oh wow. Huh. So do I break up with her? It's not necessarily the most frowned upon thing in this 7 kingdoms. Maybe I could still keep it going. It's like it didn't even cross his mind. Like the whole throne thing crossed his mind. That's a guy with priorities right there. Like, I don't know. I have a guarantee. And, you know, Ygritte's dead and all. Just saying. She's powerful. I find that sexy. But you're related. It's hot. Shut up. And Jaime Lannister came face to face with Bran. Totally forgot that he was even coming to Winterfell because, like, Cersei, I believe, if I'm remembering it correctly, again, left that chess game off a year and a half ago. But from what I remember, Cersei was like, fuck the North. You know, they'll leave him to die. And Jaime Lannister was like, nah. I gotta go. Because Jaime Lannister's story arc is one of the most interesting ones in the whole of Game of Thrones. So Jaime Lannister comes to Winterfell, and I was like, oh yeah, Bran Stark's there. Oh yeah. That whole series premiere thing, the first episode, pushed him out of a tower and paralyzed him. They just lock eyes and that was the end. I was like, yeah, that's a solid cliffhanger. Leave it off there. I feel like Bran, you know, he's like one with everything now and he sees past, present, future. He's kind of transcended his own self. He's transcended the mortal coil. So I don't think he'll care. Like, I feel like he'll be like, yeah, you did it, but it led me here. Whatever. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. Read that on a bumper sticker on a carriage once. I feel like Jaime Lannister is really gonna beat himself up over it. Like, dude, I'm sorry. I would give my right hand for you to walk a go. So I like the fact that this season kept in line with Game of Thrones. It was more the relationships among the people and the families and the bloodlines, the allegiances, the people who have people's backs, the people who don't. That said, there are only 5 episodes left. Man, things are gonna have to happen pretty rapidly now. Who's gonna sit on the throne? Is it gonna be who we think it's gonna be? I mean, Daenerys Targaryen's been the clear pick from like season 1. Like, no, she's totally gonna take the throne in the end. Now she's here, she might, but now there might be some tension between her and Jon Snow. When she learns that truth, is she gonna be like, huh, so you're a competition now? But hey, 5 episodes left. Some episodes are gonna be longer than others, but we'll see how it goes. But in the Game of Thrones, there are no true friends, just temporary alliances. All right, so Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 1, the premiere of Season 8. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as I said before, this video is brought to you by the Stardust app. Click the link below, download the Stardust app, follow me at Jeremy Johns, then react to Game of Thrones, or really whatever you want. But also Game of Thrones, because this is the Game of Thrones party here. But here's the thing, for the series finale of Game of Thrones, the folks at Stardust, they're throwing a party. And I will be at that party. I'll be at that party watching the series finale. And if you tag me in your Stardust reactions to Game of Thrones Season 8 episodes, not only will it enter you for a chance to have your Game of Thrones Season 8 episode reactions featured here on future Game of Thrones Season 8 episode reviews I do on YouTube, but that'll also enter you for a chance to win a trip for you and a friend to go down to Los Angeles to attend that party. Yeah, the same party I'll be at. I'll be there. Watch the Game of Thrones series finale and talk shit. You know, whatever people do. It's the end of Game of Thrones. It's a pretty big deal. So we might as well do something cool with it. But you gotta do those things. Download it, follow me, react to Game of Thrones, tag me in those reactions, and then they'll know. They'll know you did it because they have the algorithms. They have the magic. Or the science. So welcome to the Game of Thrones party, and I'll see you next week. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.